There's places in this world where just the best of the best really come to have just meaningful conversation. And I will tell you right now, that place is not Reddit.
What happened?
So there's a lot of dumb stuff on there. And I'm going to be honest, we steal a lot of it for this show because it's like, oh, that's going to be a great conversation piece for us. And this one, I was like, you know what? I bet you this is a relatable thing. It's all about people talking about the concept of like winning a breakup and how good it makes you feel when you walk out of a relationship and you're like, ooh, I am better off than you. And that can happen right after a breakup. It can happen like maybe a few months later you've had a glow up. Maybe a year later you see who they're dating now and you're like, meh. And everybody's sharing their stories if they felt like they won or lost in a breakup. I don't want to hear you losing because that would make me sad. But it would bring me some joy to hear at 237 hits here in the Playhouse. When did you honestly look at a breakup and feel like you won? Yes, the best victory is just being happy. Yes. But we're all a little petty, as Amy has taught us. When did you feel like you won? Do you have some breakups where you're like, I won?
One was I broke up with someone, and I would say we still were kind of friendly. Like, it wasn't, there are some where it's like nuclear, and we're never talking again. This person I was still friendly with, and we would see each other after the breakup, but like not for anything like that. We were just friends. And I know he was out dating people because people would send me screenshots of his Tinder account. And he texted me one day and said, "Are you home? Can you come downstairs to the bar?" And I went down there and I just thought, like, does he have more stuff for me that I need? Or what does he need to tell me? So I went down there and he said, "Could you just have a beer with me? I'm supposed to be on a date." And the person ghosted me.
Oh.
And so I kind of felt like it's bad for him, but I felt like I'm winning in this situation. I haven't got ghosted.
Well, even like volunteered it, which is kind of interesting.
I was surprised he told me.
What was an instance where you feel like you won in a breakup? And it could be something as petty as I think we've all kind of looked at. I've absolutely been here. You kind of just peeked, you creeped, and you've been like, oh, that's who you're with now. Like, and it's as simple as that. You're right. It's just you're like, I'm better.
Yes.
we're in different levels, and that makes you feel good. What was your instance of like, oh, I've won. I'm doing better?
Someone said we broke up and I was devastated. I was crying for like 2 weeks straight. Then I decided I was going to get my life together. I started working out. I ended up getting a better job, lost about 30 pounds. And honestly, I just became a completely different person. About a year later, I ended up running into him at Target. He looked exhausted and miserable. I looked great. And he even said, "Wow, you look really good." And I just smiled and said, "Thanks." I went home and realized I won.
If you can, too, out of your ex, get like, oh, wow, you look really good.
Yeah.
And it's a genuine one and not like, oh, well, no, you look like you're doing well.
You look great.
Like, you can tell they're like actually like impressed. That does feel good.
Someone said my boyfriend cheated on me. I found out because the other woman messaged me and I was furious. So we broke up. I kind of felt like my life was over. Fast forward 2 years later, I'm married to an amazing guy who I met through mutual friends. My ex is now married to the woman he cheated on me with. And guess what? She recently messaged me asking if I knew he had cheated on her too. I didn't even respond. I just stared at the message and thought, girl, welcome to the club.
Would you feel like you won a breakup? You just sat back and go like, oh, I had this realization I'm doing so much better than you.
Yeah, but it's not the exact same situation. Yeah, he cheated on me, but then the girl that he's with now, they have like a baby, and like he can't afford anything, and I think they're getting a divorce. I think he ended up cheating on her, and then now she has to sue him for alimony and stuff. It's crazy. It's a whole mess. I'm just lucky I didn't have children with him. Thank goodness.
So is it one of those things where you look at it and you go like, oh, like I feel some compassion and sadness for you? Or are you kind of like, are you amused? Do you find it to be amusing to you? Or?
I mean, I guess it's actually kind of sad, honestly, but I'm just really glad it didn't happen to me.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Someone said when we broke up, the only thing I cared about was our dog. And he said the dog was technically his because he paid the adoption fee. So I said, fine. 2 weeks later, he called me and said he couldn't handle having the dog and asked if I would take him. Obviously, I said yes. So I got my dog back, my freedom, my peace back, and the dog and I have been living our best lives since. That
moment you realize, hey, I've won this breakup. Hooray!
Yeah, I'm not proud of it. I caught myself when I saw my ex. I don't know if she was at rock bottom, but I saw her. I walked by her at a pretty crummy restaurant, and she was eating by herself. And it was like a Friday night, and I was on a date, and she didn't see me, but I saw her. And maybe I'm just projecting onto her, but she looked miserable. And my first thought was, yes, I'm vindicated. My second thought was, I should feel bad for her right now, but I did not feel bad at all. I really relished in that moment. And my date saw me looking at her, and she's like, who's that? And the words just came out of my mouth. I said, some loser I used to know.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, not my most shining moment,
Dude.
but I stand behind those feelings. That's how I felt. And like I said, the words just came out involuntarily.
Wow.
Also, though, that girl you were on a date with obviously is like, this is his ex-girlfriend, and he's staring at her nonstop.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I don't
she
know
knew.
if you won that.
Arguably, yeah, no, maybe not in that sense.
Someone said, my ex always told me I was going to never make it in my career. He thought my job was a joke and constantly told me I needed to find something more realistic. We broke up. I ended up getting promoted. I got more money and eventually started my own business. The first time I saw him after all that, he asked what I was doing for work, and I told him, and his face was priceless. I didn't even have to say anything else.